recording now. I gotta type something in here.
You use OBS?
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right, we are about to be live.
Live in 5?
Live in 5. You see my little thing that goes up when
Yeah.
oh, we don't want to go to that. Okay, now we got your beautiful face on the thing. I wish I had an intro. I'm working on that, but you know, just kind of going with the flow with this thing.
I love it.
So what you been up to, pal? My Area 51 brother from another mother.
Brother from another mother from a different planet.
Yeah.
Same old, man.
How's your alien
Living.
that you got from Area 51? Is it still alive?
Still alive. You remember the painting I did? Did I show you the painting?
I don't remember if you showed me the painting. Did you? Oh wait, yeah, okay, I remember the painting now. Yep. Is that like your studio setup right there, or what?
It is. I'm in my studio, also known as my closet.
Oh, okay.
So my wife was kind enough to let us use the master closet. There's a studio and office because I've been work from home for almost an entire year now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So March 18th was the first day that I did. No signs of stopping from what I hear. So
Wow, you enjoying that or what? Yeah.
it has its pros and cons. I mean, it happened right when Aria was born, my newborn,
Yeah.
and so I've been with her every single day since she was born, which is a really big blessing. It's really cool to see every single day.
Have the dad jokes set in yet?
I had dad jokes way before I was a
Oh,
dad.
did you now?
I
Okay.
was meant to be a dad.
Oh, okay.
Cheesy like that. Yeah. So she's doing good. We actually just found out that we got number 2 on the way.
What? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Do you know sex yet, or?
Do not know that yet. We are gonna wait until the very end.
That was gonna be my next question to see if you're gonna have another one. Now you got yourself a little clan going.
We're gonna have
That'll be a nice
whole
surprise.
life.
Just wait until the baby pops out and just this is
Gonna
what it is.
wait till the end. So due in September, and yeah,
September.
just gonna wait and find it. September just happened, so it's brand new news.
All right, breaking news here.
There you go. There you go. How's Lev doing?
He's good, man. Getting bigger. 8 years old. He's enjoying this working from home school thing. So, because he just hops
Oh,
out
he's
the
still-
computer and just goes straight to his games or whatever the hell he wants to do. So,
You 100% at home still?
yeah, man.
They
It's
try,
looking
going
like
hybrid at some point?
no. They were talking about it back in October, but that's when everything started kicking back up again. So right that week, I think that's when our cases started to skyrocket again, and they were like, never mind. And they've just been having weekly meetings ever since, and because everything's so crazy, they're just like, nope. And it's probably just the rest of the year. I'm assuming they're not gonna, they're not gonna be back. But he's
That's
enjoying it.
crazy.
The only
Yeah,
thing
my
the only thing I
aunt-
don't like about it is he's missing out on like that social interaction where he's playing around with his kids and stuff. These other kids and
That's so important, We're
Yeah.
meant to interact with people,
Yeah.
We're humans. We got to do that. So it is rough. I could, like I said, I've been working from home for a year now. It's not the same going into the office, high-fiving your friends, being around people, going to shows. I mean, an adjustment, and I'm sure it affects his learning too.
Yeah, that's
You're
another
right.
concern. He seems to be doing okay, but I know he's struggled a little bit because he's not in the classroom, hands on with the teacher. But I mean, what choices do we really have?
Right, right.
So
That's wild. But you just been working the whole time. You're a postman.
too fucking essential these days, man. I just had somebody ask me today. They're like, "Do you work from home?" I'm like, there's no way for me to work from. There's no way for me to work from home.
Doesn't work like that.
Yeah,
Doesn't
so
work like
that's why a lot of this stuff hasn't really hasn't affected me like everyone else because it's like I just been going to work like normal and just watching things on the news and
that.
so
By the way, I heard something. I think it's true. I heard that you are like one of the sexiest men postal workers in the whole USPS.
oh, so you read that article?
I
Okay.
did read that
I
article.
think
It
it was.
was labeled priority male. Priority male.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing a little calendar or something.
That's so funny. Uh,
Yeah.
my brother-in-law works for the post service as well. He's been doing it since he was like 18.
Was a carrier?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, out in Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth.
That's my story too. 18, right out of high school, I pretty much got into this shit, and I don't know.
Is it like same shit, different day? Because you have a route, right? You
Yeah.
deliver mail to
When
business.
you're starting out as rookie, yeah, you're used and abused. You're everywhere. They throw you wherever the hell they need you. So you get to see a lot of the city that way. But once you make career, yeah, you get the option to go and bid your own route, and that's your route every day. So that's what I have. I have a business route, so my shit's pretty dope.
That's good. You make friends, like you have
Yeah.
clients, customers.
Oh yeah, they all become friends. Even families like on my route, like I see their little kids grow up, and like there's like this little girl. She always makes me happy because she comes to run out to get the mail, and I remember when they brought her home, and now she's this little 5-year-old kid who can like talk and say things to me, and it's just like whoa, it's crazy.
That is really cool.
I can
I
only
feel like
imagine.
it's the same way. I work for a trash company.
Uh huh.
And same thing with like trash truck drivers. They build a bond. You're not just
Yeah.
delivering mail or picking up trash. You're doing something.
Yeah,
of
anyone that you're
service
gonna
for the
see
community.
all the time, you build that bond, and it's cool,
Yeah.
and it's sad when they move away, but you know,
Right.
I like
Yeah,
it.
it's great that you do that for the community. I think it's important to serve, and obviously it's your job, but you're doing something very special. So
Yeah, some people like to say that. I mean, I see it differently, obviously, because it's a job to me. But I
yeah,
mean, you guys see
it's a
us
job.
differently out here. Like,
Right. I mean, like I said, I work for a Fortune 200 trash company, and to me, it's not just trash. It's very important what we do. We keep the world flowing because everyone produces so much trash. You got to keep
yeah,
that going, and you have to stay sustainable as well. So
yeah.
my job is actually, adjusting services for people who need.
When I first started this, I actually was like, man, maybe I should be a trash man because I like how they have like early schedules and they're out before the sun's even up, and
4, 5 a.m.
I like that.
They got, yeah, yeah. That's when I start. I call East Coast making calls all day, so I'm up at like 4 or 5.
Fuck. Yeah, see, if I could have my schedule like that, I'd love to come in early, get off like 2 o'clock or something.
What is your schedule? You don't have to tell me
It's
your
it's
schedule, I'm
like
not
it's
gonna
like
stalk
eight,
you.
it's like an 8 to 4:30 thing. It's like a regular.
To 4:30.
But right now it's crazy hours though, because now that Trump's gone, he had a hiring freeze, so we're pretty understaffed right now, and shit's pretty
Yeah,
chaotic.
was
Like
that before the election, or was
it's
that
it
just
was
because of the election?
he stopped it right. Well, normally we hire every September, October, November to gear up for the Christmas season, but everyone thinks that he didn't do it to help try to delay the vote, even though it didn't matter. We have to we have to
How'd
get
that
it
work
out. Yeah, it didn't matter. It just made it worse for us. I mean, we're gonna get it. We have to get we got to get it delivered. Like, there's no way to screw that over. It was just his attempt, and he still hasn't. I mean, well, he's gone now, but I'm assuming with Biden in, we might get a little bit of help. They might do some mass hirings because
Is he
even
gone though? Is he gone?
no.
There's got to be some conspiracy theorists out there who think
Oh, I
that
read a crazy conspiracy, a QAnon one the other day that it was like that movie Face Off where apparently Biden's in jail and they put Trump's, they like switch the faces. So Biden's
What?
face is on Trump and he's really still president, and Biden's in jail with Trump's face.
Wow.
So that's
Wow.
you didn't hear that from me. That's top secret.
Got it. Got it.
So
All
that's
about the top secret stuff, you know?
yeah. So that's the scoop on that. But I mean, hopefully, I have seen some new guys strolling through, so it looks like they are starting to hire. I don't know if they've eased up or what now that Biden's in or what, but hopefully, because I know Tuesday guys they were working till 11, 12 p.m. or 12 a.m. Um, getting that money.
Getting that money. Do you think COVID has caused like an increase in your business? I would assume so.
mm, no, well, not an increase in business. It caused a lot of delays
Right.
because they were at one point. Uh, our new postmaster general is real tight with Trump. So it's basically his buddy, and they ordered him to disassemble some sorting machines, so that
Yeah.
kept backing up the mail, getting just making things worse. They were just trying to make things as hard as fuck, even though like it doesn't matter how hard you make it. You're just making this work later. Like at the end of the day, we have it's every piece every day is the model. So whatever we have that day, it has to go. Even if the machine's broken, they have procedures to sort that shit by hand and whatnot. Like there's no way around it. And it's different because we're not just some fucking company. Like we're part of the government. There's like
The
rules
government.
we're rules and regulations and shit. So it's like we can't. It's illegal to hold the mail. Shit like that. So we can't.
When
do
you're
stuff
starting
like
to
that.
affect people's daily life like that, I mean,
Yeah, I mean, we got to get like, what if it was during this time when everyone's looking for their stimulus? I,
mhm.
I
I'm
don't
sure
know.
that did happen. There were delays with well, no, because it was way before, but still, yeah, medications, important.
Yeah,
pieces,
medications. Just any other deliveries. We were doing a bunch of shit for Amazon. I mean, you name it. I mean,
Oh,
people
were
were.
you really?
Yeah, we had a contract for a while. It just ended, and that eased up some things, but it's still pretty bad.
Who
But
do they usually go through? Like FedEx, or they just use whoever they can?
they have Amazon has their own delivery
Their
service,
own
but
deliveries now.
because they don't have the infrastructure yet, they're still kind of like leasing out contracts to help take their some of their load off their back. And we've had the infrastructure forever. We have this shit down. We do it for everybody. Actually, it's called last mile delivery, where they move it all the way except for the last mile, and if they need help, they toss it to us, and we just work it in with our shit. And
So, it's so crazy to just think about all of the things happening in the world at the same time, just going on always, just
Yep.
logistics.
yep,
It's just incredible. It's just the flow of the universe and stuff. And you study the flow of universe, so it's just very fascinating how things work, I guess.
yeah, it's crazy to find out where you fit in all of this and how you're affecting everything.
Totally. You were totally. I've been doing a lot of research on that lately, actually. 2020 was a big year for me, and just like thinking about those kinds of things and doing research. We had our however many hour long car drive together, 14 hours, where we
Ah,
talked about that shit.
and I was so hoping that was gonna happen again. I was like, man, fuck. I was looking forward to round two.
I mean, we could always just take a trip whenever.
I
But
mean, yeah, we could, but it was a lot funner with like everyone else out there. And I don't know
it
how.
was
I don't know the reaction we'd get walking up to the guard shack this time.
Let's just talk about that story for a second. Let's just go through it. So that event was happening,
hmm
and obviously everyone's like, "Is this gonna actually happen?" And it was 10 a.m. on that Friday, and I think you and I messaged each other
Yeah,
like
I was
a
at
minute
work.
first. Yeah,
Yeah,
and I'm like, "Let's go."
yeah. I
Okay.
faked being sick. I was like, oh, I'm not feeling good. I need to go home. This was late too. It was like 2 or something. Because I remember
Yeah,
me and you didn't hit the road till like 5, 6 o'clock. It was pretty late already.
5, 6. We drove
Yeah,
straight there. Didn't stop except for gas and whatnot.
yeah. We
All
fucking went.
good.
We rolled straight up into that bitch, straight into the desert party.
We went into the desert party. We didn't get there until I want to say like midnight or
Yeah,
1. It
it
was
was late
really
as
far, so
fuck.
dark and far and ominous.
Well, we
It
stopped
was
first. We stopped at the little. Remember, there's like the little alien convention thing where they had
yes,
Paul
and Paul
Oaken.
Oakenfield.
Yeah, he was playing like a legit rave.
Uh-huh.
It was just dead as fuck.
Yeah, it was the very end. That was like the tourist part. They had the big metal alien
Yeah,
statue,
yeah.
um, the big DJ stage. I got a Bud Light with an alien on it, like Bud Light
I still have
commercial.
my like ticket thing.
Yeah, I do too. I
Yeah,
just saw it in my car the
I
other day.
kept all my shit from there. I was like, this is history.
Yeah, seriously, that was so much fun. So we went from that, and then we drove into what is that called? It's like
Oh,
um,
Rachel.
Rachel
Is it Rachel?
and
Yeah,
the little Ailey Inn,
yeah.
that little hotel
That
right
little
there.
tiny house.
Yeah. So we parked our car, and there were a lot of people there. I was actually surprised.
Yeah, there was a
The
good
news
amount
was
there.
there.
Yep.
Okay.
We missed
And
what's her face, the fucking porn star somehow. Riley Reed was out there.
no,
Yeah, she was out there. I saw her on the way back the next day. So yeah, we mingled.
Zoo was out there too.
Zoo was out. Yeah, that's what
Zoo was out
we were
there.
looking for his bandanas and shit that he was hiding
Uh-huh.
everywhere. Unsuccessful on that, but whatever.
We got there and we were just like scoping it out. There were different DJ stages. There was like the one with the live music,
Yeah, that
and
bus.
then the big bus that looked like a spaceship. I wonder where they came from.
Yeah,
They drove from somewhere.
like they had that shit set up. Like,
They did. They were all dressed up like astronauts.
yep.
And it was really cool.
The girls were all dancing. There's people were doing the Naruto run everywhere.
That was wild.
Yeah.
And then so we like walked over to check out the little alien, and there was a post-it note on the side of the building, just random post-it note, and it had the coordinates to Area 51, where
Yeah.
the gate is. And it was like, follow this road 7.x miles, turn right, and go until you can't go.
Yeah, and I remember coming up, I was like, "What road?" Because there's no fucking signs that say Area 51 this way.
Nothing.
It's just
One of us
I
thought
remember you put in your phone like the exact miles, and we just started driving, and then there just happened to be a road right there at that exact mile.
Right at the exact point, I matched up the odometer, and I'm like, "Yep, this is it." Turned right, and then just drove into a deep abyss.
Yeah, it's a fucking and it felt like that drive alone was like fucking long. It felt like it was in like an hour or something.
It did take an hour. It took at least 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Of just driving, and the road was so washboardy. There were
Yeah.
a few points where there were intersections where we're like, "Fuck, which way do we go?"
Yeah.
And so we're like driving and driving, and there were jackrabbits. Do you remember this part?
Yep.
The jackrabbits
Yep.
just running out in front of the car. This is 3 a.m, and we don't have any phone service. Like, you can't
Yeah.
even see where we're at on the map. And we finally see a red dot up in the distance, up on the mountain.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, we've got to be getting close. So then what happened? At one point, we just got to a point where we saw these guards.
Yeah. I think one car had finally passed us leaving,
One car passed us
and then
the whole time.
we go up, and that's when I think wasn't it the sheriffs we met first, right? Where we
Mhm.
had to park,
Mm-hmm.
and then
Yeah,
they were
'cause I
like,
was up
were they
half
the ones
mile
that checked our IDs, or was it the Area 51 guards? I don't remember. I
Did
think
people check our IDs?
yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah.
the government knows who I
I'm
am.
pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it was the sheriffs though. First, I think they were
Yeah.
just kind of.
Yeah, they
Keep an eye
were at least a half mile out from the gate.
Yeah.
And they said, "How you doing?" They said, "Good to see you."
Yeah, they were pretty nice.
Mhm.
Everyone was pretty nice.
They said we were one of the few people that actually made it. I think
Yeah, because
they
we went
said
to the wrong gate. We went to like one of the
the
secondary.
back gate.
Yeah, because then
The
they
gate.
said there was a south one, and then there was the official one with the guard shack where Zoo went, and most people
Where
went.
Zoo went, most people go. Yeah.
Yeah,
That
we-
has a much bigger, like nicer.
Yeah,
road.
that one has like it's like paved and lights and shit, and I don't know
That
how
was wild.
I don't know
That
how
was
we
really
missed
cool.
that.
So then, what did they say? They said, "Come with us. We'll walk you up." And we went
Yeah.
half mile to the gate. Took our pictures.
Yep. Those guards were dressed all in black. And nothing that identified them. You could see the two trucks on the hills watching
Mhm.
everybody. I mean,
The
there was probably guys on the side of the road all geared up. We probably just didn't even see them.
Just didn't see 'em.
Just camping,
Didn't see
being
'em.
quiet.
Out of the whole weekend, we can sit here and joke and say, "Oh, I saw aliens," whatever. But there was one point when we were driving back down that road
Hmm.
where it really was out in the distance, some light.
Yeah, you remember those weird ass lights?
Yes. And we're
Yeah.
like, okay, out of all of the things, like, David, I'm not fucking joking right now.
Yeah.
And that was in the area where, these jackrabbits were just, like, running in front of the car.
Yeah, like they're maybe
suicide
getting away or
jackrabbits? I
something.
don't know.
They were getting away from something. That I don't know. Maybe they were just playing a joke on everybody as he drove out. But like, I don't know.
That was the one part where I was really like, okay.
Yep.
And so then we got back on the road and we decided to just drive straight back to Phoenix.
Yeah.
And we were coming back down into the city of Las Vegas. And the sunrise was happening. The sun was coming up. And I lived in Vegas for a while, so I had the spot that I wanted to go to watch
Yeah.
the sunrise.
That park, right?
Right. So we stopped at a gas station, like right when you come out of like the deep abyss into the north side by the speedway where East
Yeah.
Side is at. We got gas and everything, got some breakfast, and then went to drive south side to where this place is. So we got gas, get in the car, whatever, drive south side to this park. We get out of the car, and I just hear. Got a fucking flat tire. And I'm just like, we just drove 13 hours to Area 51. 45 minutes in, 45 minutes out, just like had the best time ever. And that tire waited to pop until we got right where we needed to be to just chill out and watch the sunrise.
Can you imagine if we had that flat driving on the dirt road?
I don't want to imagine.
God,
I had a jack.
I
And
think
I had
about
a
that
spare.
all the fucking time.
I had a jack and I had a spare. I had all tools, always do. But it just would have been sketchy as fuck, nonetheless. No cell service, whatever. Yeah, it was just very interesting that right until we got
the way
right
it played out. Yeah, man,
right
that
where
shit
we
was.
needed to be. So then, what? We went to the dispo. I picked up at the dispo, went up onto that bridge, and just watched the sunrise. You see the whole view of the whole Las Vegas Strip,
Yeah,
the whole city. So beautiful.
yeah, it was legit. It was a once in a lifetime opportunity so far.
Yeah, so it was really cool. We talked the whole way. We talked about some pretty interesting things, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So where are you at these days with like existence and like I don't know, is the world ending, David?
Nah, I mean, obviously, I've been pro therapy these days, so I've had a lot of time to reflect on myself and just improve on myself, look within, see what I need to fix, and you know, honestly, should I thank COVID? You know, would I have been the same me right now if none of this happened? You know,
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You know, I'm a firm believer that everything happens the way it's supposed to.
Yeah.
And you know, it was a very rough year, 2020 was, but it had a lot of blessings and it grew me, and I'm glad to hear that it's growing you.
Yeah.
So I seen you doing the therapy and stuff. How's that been?
It's a process, but I mean, it's a necessary process. I mean, honestly, I think everybody should just go to therapy, even if you don't feel you have anything wrong. It's just good to talk to somebody and.
Everyone has something wrong.
Yeah, something. Yeah, because there's things I've that she's brought up that I didn't even realize could have been like an issue or something. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was watching a video. Some doctor, scientist, whatever. He was talking about just like the human body and what we are, and we're like an organism, right? We're an animal, whatever you want to call it. Well, he was looking at like cells and just what turns the cell into what it needs to be for what it is, you know, blood cell, bone, whatever. And that cell turns into what it needs to be based on its environment. And it works from the outside in to make it what it needs to be. And I think we're the exact same thing. We are a cell if you think about it, the human body. Everything that we experience, we touch, hear, feel, whatever, it makes us who we are. So from the moment that you're born, everything you touch, see, hear, feel, smell, whatever, experience, that makes you who you are. And you have so many layers to you and so many things that make you who you are that if you're not going to therapy, if you're not thinking about those things, you're not being your best self and working through that. There are so many traumas and things that make us who we are. That's so important, you know.
Yeah, you really get molded by
totally
by this shit.
by life, by time. I've been going to therapy since I was 6, 7 years old.
Yeah,
I had a really rough upbringing, start to life at least, you know.
Yeah.
So I've been going the whole time, and it's helped me. I encourage anybody to go. There's nothing to be ashamed of. There's that stigma, you know, you have to have something wrong. You have to be crazy, whatever.
That's part of why I'm trying to be so vocal. I'm trying to, you know, make it seem like, hey, look, it's not that bad.
Yeah. So you really feel like there is a stigma, that there are people who just feel like...
Yeah, because I even had I've had a few friends reach out to me because they're like, oh man, I love everything you've been posting. You know, I relate so much. They just don't want to put it out there. I've had a few people who have said that they were going to get started. And just one today, I had to push her. I had to be like, hey, go get this shit done. Quit bullshitting.
Yeah.
And, you know, well, I didn't tell her that exactly, but she knows who she is. She was just watching a little while ago. And,
do we have viewers? I haven't checked my phone.
They're popping in and out. Don't worry about it. But she finally made contact. So, you know,
that's good.
Yeah, there is something of a stigma where people are afraid, or I mean, most of the problem that I'm seeing actually is insurance, what they're covering, how much they got to pay, things like that. You know, a lot of people are out of work, you know, right now because of COVID, and honestly, this shit should be free.
Totally. Yeah, I for a long time was on my mom's insurance. She's in Colorado.
Yeah.
And we have Kaiser. And so it's always been a struggle since I moved here for college, you know, getting things covered because it's out of state, whatever. You know,
Yeah.
insurance is a pain in the ass. Why is it we pay this premium, you know, just to have the service when we need it, but when we need it, we have to pay more, and it's just a hassle
Yeah.
to just, you know, be treated with care. It's really rough. Um, you know, I don't know what my opinions are on like free healthcare or universal healthcare, but I do believe that everyone needs healthcare. Everyone needs to take
Yeah.
care of themselves. You know, and if it's the government's responsibility to watch over the people and give them the resources they need to be the best citizen possible and
Hmm.
individual possible for the country and themselves, then who knows? Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know what the solution is either, but I just know everyone deserves the right and the access to it, and you know, there's something of a pro therapy movement right now, and clearly these are hard times. I mean, they've even been hard times before, and it's just it's becoming more important on, you know, just the topic of mental health and how important it actually is. So
Especially with COVID. I
yeah,
think it's, you know, brought out a lot of things that people never knew existed in their lives, or, you know, were never an issue before. It's just shaken everybody to the core,
yep,
you know,
yep,
which is such a good thing. If you look about it the right way, it's all about perspective.
yeah,
You
right.
know, that's my first and only tattoo I have so far. It's perspective, and it's just the word
Hey,
perspective, but, you know, in different forms, because life is whatever way you look at it, you
right.
know. And especially if we talk about existence and what we are outside of just a human body, you know, purpose, you know, it's all about the way you look at it, because, you know, things can be so easily persuaded or changed by the way they're worded or the way they sound, or, you know, the way light hits something. Is all about how we perceive things that makes our reality.
Yeah,
So you got to always be working to make your best perspective possible, looking at life the best way possible.
yeah. It's funny you say that too, because I had just posted an article. It's kind of fringe stuff. It has to do with the UFO but stuff. But the guy Robert Bigelow, he was heavy into UFOs, but he just announced
Oh,
a
I saw
comp
that article.
he just announced a competition for any type of researchers to he's trying to get evidence of, you know, the afterlife. But to the way I'm trying to tie it into what you were saying is, you know, he was just like, the way I see it is, if there's an afterlife, you know, it's gonna, how important is that on what we're doing now? You know, if there is no afterlife, does this life meaningless? You could do whatever you want. If there is an afterlife, you know, are you supposed to be being a good person? You know, what percentage of this, you know, if there is an afterlife, is this 1% of what's next? You know, like,
Hmm.
so, you know.
Yeah, it's all crazy stuff. That's, you know, what is it? He's giving away like $1 million
Yeah,
top
he's he
prize or
has he
something.
has first, second, and third. First place is 500,000. Second place is 300K, and I think last or third place is 150K for the you know, whatever team or researcher or whatever comes up with the best. You gotta write like a fucking whole report and has
25,000 words or less. I read
yeah,
that article.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I totally believe in an afterlife, and a before life, not just an
yeah.
afterlife,
He
but
he
before
mentioned
life
that
too.
reincarnation and stuff like
Of
that too.
course. Well, you know, like, yeah, absolutely. There's, if you look at all the different religions and all the different theories of existence, in my opinion, they all kind of tie in some way.
Yeah,
You
there's
know,
there's always some kind of common ground somewhere.
there's always a common ground. I think a lot of the common ground is this universe is eternal. It
Hmm.
always has been and it always will be. What created it? Who knows? Is it God? What is God?
Yeah,
You know, if that, but to me, life is absolutely eternal. And I definitely think that we are all souls that travel from place to place. You
yeah.
know,
It would be a shame for this to be it. That doesn't make sense to me.
there are too many things, in my opinion, that are compelling to believe otherwise. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
like deja vu,
Hmm.
you know, dreams. Just like I have a very vivid memory, and like I can like connect with other things. You know, just
Yeah,
like history in general, aliens. I mean, there's just so much compelling evidence that there is an afterlife, or at least that there's life outside of this earth. That's a given.
that's
There,
given.
you know,
Yeah.
that's a given. As far as afterlife, I do believe that there is, because all of these different, you know, theories tie into that there is a, you know, before and after and an afterlife. I believe in a soul. I
Did you ever
definitely
you
believe
ever
in a
hear
soul.
about that experiment where that guy he was trying to measure the weight of a soul, and he would get like dead bodies, and as soon, or it was people who were like terminally ill, and he would have them on a super sensitive scale, and as soon as they would die, he could measure something leaving.
Could he really? I've
Yeah,
heard about it, but I didn't know the
yeah,
results. So
yeah.
he
He
really
he
could.
measured something leaving. He just, there was no way for him to prove it.
Right, right. Yeah. I mean, so, you know, there's like the quantum physics and the idea that there are like infinite universes with infinite possibilities.
Yeah.
You know, so that's kind of another reason why it's important to change your perspective, because it's like the Schrodinger's effect, you know, where like when the box is over the cat, it could be dead, it could be alive, whatever. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
Right. It's not until we lift up the box that we figure out what it is. So if you look at like split decisions like that, maybe that there's a universe where you're opening the box and the cat's alive, or you're opening the box and the cat's dead. They both happen, you
Right.
know, they both exist, just in different realities. So as soon, like, you know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
you can choose the course of your reality by consciously making decisions to put yourself in that
Right.
existence, you know. You can decide if you want to turn left or turn right and what that does for you. If you want to be a good person, be a bad person, whatever, and you might be able to control or escalate your existence, which to me kind of ties into things like reincarnation, or, you know,
Mm-hmm.
leveling up. I don't remember which religion or belief it is, where, you know, you go from grasshopper to whatever, you know,
Yeah.
and you're
Mm-hmm.
always working to become your best self, and you won't reach the highest peak until you become your best self.
Right.
Well, that also ties into the Christian Bible, because you don't just go straight to heaven or hell in the Bible. You go to purgatory. The Bible very clearly says that you will not go to heaven until you are completely pure. You
Really?
have
I
to
didn't know that. I always thought that was just
Absolutely.
something to do with hell.
No. So you go to, when you, according to the Christian Bible, when you die, you don't just go straight to hell. The Bible doesn't really talk about like the burning hell that everyone
Uh-huh.
alludes and paints a picture to. There's not a lot of that in the Bible. You really, you know, your soul goes into a purgatory, and you have a chance once you die to reconsider your belief and want to try and believe and fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Or you could choose to rot in hell forever, you know, if you don't want to believe it. Maybe that happens on a different planet. Maybe when you die here, you know, you just reincarnate on a different earth in a different body or whatever. You're
Mm-hmm.
still the same soul, but in a different body,
Yeah.
which is why some people say, oh, I feel like I'm supposed to be a girl, but I'm in a man's body,
Mm-hmm.
because your soul just got put in the wrong place on the wrong earth, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right. So where was I going with this? I was on a roll there.
I don't know, but keep going.
Jesus. You know, so the Christian, you purge yourself, you go on purgatory, and you have to work on yourself. You know, just because you believed in God and whatever, it's all great, you're going to heaven. You have to forgive everyone. You have to leave
Yeah.
the clean slate. Love
Mhm.
everybody, forgive everybody, do your best to just wipe out all of the badness in your life, whatever badness and sin is, you know,
Yeah.
whatever. So that could be anything. That, you know, it doesn't just have to be the Christian Bible. It could just be, you know, your soul is something that is just always working up and down. Because another thing with quantum physics and just like, you know, the equilibrium of the universe is it's always wavelengths, right? It's always
Right.
going up
Right.
and down. And you have these highs and lows, but they always even out to the balance that keeps existence happening. And, you know, so that's why, you know, it's important to take the good and the bad, because everything happens for a reason, and they're always counterbalancing each other.
Yes.
Right. So, what are
Uh,
your thoughts on that?
I
Kinda went
definitely
off on a
think
tangent.
there's. I mean, I don't know, man. I have so many fucking beliefs. It's hard to pick one. I always like
Yeah.
to think that you're reincarnated here, like you said, until you ascend, but you can't ascend until you learn whatever you got to learn, life's lesson. You know, to be this
Hmm.
you know, loving being of whatever.
Yeah.
That's what I've always kind of leaned towards. That you can't ascend to whatever's next until you've learned whatever. Like this, you know, there's got to be. I mean, who's to say once you do ascend, there's going to be some kind of lesson there, and then you ascend to something else? What if it's just forever? You know, you're just
Well,
constantly.
and technically it would be, David, because if the world, if the universe is eternal and
Yeah.
everything happens forever, then you're not just gonna make the heaven and that's all great and you're good.
Yeah.
You know, like you're. So, did you see the movie Soul?
No, not yet. The cartoon, that
Okay.
little animated one.
Yeah, you gotta watch it. It's
All right,
great.
I'll
You
peep
would
it.
absolutely love it. Do it this weekend.
All right.
I'll give you my Disney Plus password.
I got it. I'll watch it.
Okay. So, you know, these souls in the great beyond, great before, whatever, outside of Earth's existence, there are these souls that are mentors to
Mhm.
new souls who haven't gone to Earth yet. And so, what if you know, are done being a soul here and you just go mentor fresh souls? You know, like you
That
just-
have you heard of that? There's a fucking theory I just read about this the other day. It's like I think the story is called The Egg, and it's the same thing. And basically, it's a soul, like you're saying. He's talking to what he thinks is God, and he's like, "I'm actually not God. I'm actually you. You just haven't reached this level yet." He's like,
Well,
"We're all
that's-
gods and shit."
we are, Because, man was created in God's image, and you
Hmm.
were made in the image of God. So technically, like, you are God in a way,
Yeah.
And if there's like, this is a Neil deGrasse Tyson theory, but if there are like these infinite universes that ripple off of maybe just this one universe, then
Hmm.
we're probably living in a simulation of the real thing.
Yeah.
And God is all the way up here in the real existence, you know what I'm saying? But all of the energy and the wavelengths, because it's all physical matter and stardust. And this is kind of quantum physics, where you can be everywhere at
Yeah.
one time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you could be experiencing every reality, but God could be you just at a different universe,
Yeah. Hmm.
and the more you work towards bettering yourself and getting yourself a universe closer to the end,
Yeah. It's fucking heavy.
it's very heavy, but it's enlightening because,
Yeah.
like, it's very enlightening. You want to have purpose. You want to, feel like there's reason beyond being here. At least that's what I like to feel.
Yeah.
I'm a Freemason, so, I believe
I
very
remember. Yeah.
strongly in this stuff. I have a lot of, reason to feel this way, that there's got to be something. And just like you, it's so hard to just pick one. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
We're not
Like,
gonna know until we're there.
for example, like the Christian Bible to me has a lot of truth to it
Hmm.
because I'm a Freemason and because Masonry goes all the way back to Solomon, who was around 1,000 years before Jesus Christ was. That's where Freemasonry starts, and Solomon was one of the wisest men that God ever put on earth. Um, there's so many truths to that, but the Bible doesn't explain all of these other things like quantum physics and science and
Right.
things like that. So you have to look at those things as a human. If you want to be real, if you want to be like legit, you can't just accept Christianity and reject science or
Right.
vice versa. You have to be willing to accept it all because if God is the ultimate creator, then there's a reason to the numbers that make the universe.
Right.
So you should
Yeah.
appreciate those numbers and study them and thank God for those numbers,
Hmm.
because that is science. It's so intricate, whatever it is, whoever created it. I mean, the universe is so intricate. But, there are just so many different theories, but I feel like there's definitely purpose. There's definitely something going on. Do we ever figure it out? What if, like, every time that you leave here, like, you just forget again?
God, that's what I hate because that's that same story. Once you're reborn, you kind of the way they allude to it is like you forget, but you kind of remember the lesson that you learned from this life. But
Of
you're gonna
course.
learn something in the next life, and
So that's how you know better. That's how you
yeah,
know better because you
maybe
like
that's how your
that
morals develop or something. I don't know.
gut instinct. I don't know what it is, but it's just gut instinct. And maybe
Yeah.
that gut instinct is because you existed on a planet before where you fucked up and it didn't go well. And
Right.
so now on this reality, your gut instinct says, "Oh, wait a minute."
Yeah. Don't do that.
Because everything happened and nothing happened. Everything could happen and nothing could happen. There's
Yeah.
could be some reality where you're the president of the United States of America. Who
Yeah.
knows? That'd be a nice country.
I have that theory with dreams where I like to think that dreams are somehow connected to the multiverse, and when you're dreaming, you're getting a glimpse of somehow there's some connection where you get some random glimpse of one of your universes that you're in, and that's why shit's weird sometimes. But sometimes it's just you just doing something different.
Have you seen posts from your friends, or have you yourself had crazy dreams lately?
My dreams have actually been dying down as of late, but most of my life I've had. I always tell people this story since I was like 5 to probably about a year ago. I've had what most people would consider nightmares, where usually I'm dying, or there's always something dark happening. Like there's always death involved. I'm dying, somebody's dying, I'm getting chased or killed, so something violent. That's been I can remember since kindergarten. It's more rare for me to have like a just random weird dream.
Hmm. Yeah, I can kind of relate to that. I mean, I can't really, and maybe we just remember the bad more than the good, like
Hmm.
for my, situation at least. But I can't recall like great dreams where like everything great's happening. Not many at
Hmm.
least. It's usually like something bad.
Yeah,
Peeing myself in public. I don't know. I had a dream where I was chainsawing a baby in half the other day. What the
yeah,
fuck?
yeah,
Why would I do? Why would I do
yeah.
that?
You wake up and you're like, what the fuck is going on in my head? Like,
Yeah, your girlfriend's cheating on you,
yeah,
whatever. Those is my wife in that case. But dreams are very interesting. I don't know. The reason I asked is I've just seen so many people post about weird dreams lately,
hmm
And
I'm
I've been
completely
having a few things.
fascinated with dreams. If I wish I could have like gone into like a field of studying dreams and trying to figure that shit out because I love them. I have a dream journal and everything. I just document.
Oh,
Ever since
really?
I've little, I've just been there's something about dreams that sticks with me, and I gotta know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah. See, I'm a medical cannabis patient, so I don't really have dreams that often these days. Like, if I want to have like really vivid dreams, I have to
Hmm.
like not smoke for a day or two, just
Hmm.
to get back, because otherwise, like, I just pass out and just
A lot
sleep
of
like a
times
baby.
too is if I'm ever close with somebody, I'll start having a lot of dreams about them.
Oh,
That's a common pattern with me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because your wavelengths are kind of in the same place. You're in the
Hmm.
same positions in life where your wavelengths would interfere. So if your wavelengths are crossing paths here, wouldn't that ripple out into a different universe? Because the theory
Possibly.
is you're right here and everything you do ripples out.
Hmm.
Kind of like, that could be the explanation for karma. Like,
Yeah.
everything you do ripples and has an effect, just like everything has a wavelength and it comes and goes and it does whatever. Maybe if you've got two subjects that are here and this universe, as they're together, those wavelengths ripple, and that's why you're dreaming together in different places or appear.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting theory.
Hell yeah, it's fucking interesting. There's.
I love it. One cool thing, did you see the thing about the Israeli military guy saying that we communicate with aliens?
Oh yeah, yeah. I was just listening to a podcast about that today too.
Right. So one of the details he put in there is apparently these aliens, they have the technology to get from like planet to planet,
Uh huh.
but they too don't know the meaning of life, the purpose of life.
Yeah,
Some sort of
That's the same theme of the you seen the movie Contact.
uh-uh.
Oh man, Carl Sagan movie. It's old with the fuck. I can't think of their goddamn names. The guy that says all right, all right, all right. Matthew
All right,
McConaughey.
all right,
Matthew
all right.
McConaughey and fucking Clarice from Hannibal.
Okay.
It's old. It's like from the 90s. It's not that old, but that's the theme is the aliens send like a schematic to build like a teleporter to make contact, and she finally makes contact with the aliens, and they're like, "We're just like you. We're trying to figure out who made us. Somebody sent us this schematic, just like we're sending it to you, and we're just going through the universe trying to find the way."
That's crazy. Yeah, and to me that's kind of like beautiful in a way because it reaffirms, in my opinion, that there's a difference between a human body or an alien body
Hmm.
and a soul that has eternal purpose.
Yeah.
Even a species, an alien, if we'll call it an alien,
Hmm.
is so intelligent that they can build a rocket ship that can go from planet to planet, but they themselves don't know the purpose of the soul within
Right.
that could go anywhere at that point after
Yeah.
it departs that body.
Yeah.
Because I think there is a huge difference between a physical body and a soul. I don't know
Hmm.
what they are. I don't know. I haven't figured that out. I don't think I will until I die. And then maybe I won't figure it out either.
Yeah. It's hard to say, man, about any of this. Really.
Yeah.
I'd be curious to talk to an alien, though, obviously, and see their take on all of our
Well, they
ideas.
exist. They're around. I mean, of course they are. At what point are we going to be just told that straight up? That one article you had posted about the whale mermaids or the
Oh man,
mermaid
that's crazy.
aliens.
That's been a hot topic lately.
Yeah. So in one of the articles you posted, I was reading it. I read everything you post, and it was just talking about how they're supposed to come out with this worldwide broadcast this year to tell everybody, hey, we are not alone.
Yeah, supposedly, I'm hearing different things. It's hard to see understand who to believe or who to go with, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Hopefully, this report that's due within the 180 days. I think late June is when it's supposed to drop. But
Okay.
the CIA just dropped all their stuff the other day. I don't know. Just fucking come out and say it. There's a lot of crazy shit. I mean, if there's anything that's going to unite everyone, just like that Ronald Reagan speech, if there was an alien threat, would that not unite us?
Hmm.
Maybe that's what we need.
Is that a Ronald Reagan quote?
Yeah, loosely. He's. I don't forgot if it was when he's leaving office or what, but he says something along the lines as if there was an alien threat, would that not unite us or some shit like that, something along those lines. I don't know it exactly, but yeah, even back then there was like wild conspiracies like, oh, Reagan's trying to tell us.
Well, because I really think that the truth has always been there. It's just been so well hidden. Once again, as a
Yeah.
Freemason, of course.
What better place to hide it than the ocean?
ocean. Yeah, we haven't explored like what 70% of the ocean.
I think we only have like 10% mapped at this point. We know more
Really?
about the moon, yeah. And
Really?
that's starting to add up. Like, this whole time they've been like, there's really nothing important in the ocean. Let's go focus our resources on something else. When this whole time they knew, and there was something. They knew that they were in there hiding, doing whatever the fuck they were doing, and they just were, probably helpless to do anything against some fucking powerful alien race or whatever the fuck it is.
What was that Disney movie? Was it called like Atlas or something?
Atlantis.
Atlantis.
Yeah.
When was that? Like the 90s?
Yeah.
I don't. I can't recall a single movie since then that would depict or portray any sort of life under the water. So maybe they have been hiding it and just haven't even talked about it to not even open up that idea to people.
Yeah, I've heard two different stories that it's something that has evolved alongside of us, but that one doesn't make sense because if it evolved alongside of us, it would have came out at some point. Like, why did they? I mean, you think they've got to be pissed that we're polluting the ocean? First of all,
Right.
that's like fucking probably grounds for fucking war or something,
Hmm.
I I'm along the belief as if it is anything alien life, it's they just came here and their hats where they're hiding because
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah, just where they're hiding, it's easy to stay here, and they probably come and go as they
Now you got to think about
please.
things like Atlantis. Now you got to think about the Bermuda Triangle. You got to think about all these weird, the blop, that sound, that famous sound that was recorded. It's all starting to add up a little bit. It's called it's called the blop. It was either the blop or the bloop. I forgot how it's pronounced, but
Blue flop?
yeah, it's some there's like so many they're kind of like seismographs. They record sounds in the ocean, but there was this sound that was picked up, like I think it was almost across the entire Atlantic or almost across the whole world, but it wasn't it was something that was deemed like to come from something, like organic, something alive. A lot of people try to play it off like, oh, it was fucking an underground earthquake or something, but I guess the frequency, they can tell that it's not, it's something that came from something,
Right.
something in the ocean, like some kind of life form. But they've always played it off that no, it was some kind of earthquake or something. But then
It makes perfect sense.
yeah, so now that's what I've been trying to do lately. I've been going back, reviewing all these weird, ocean mysteries and shit, trying to just think like, oh, is there some kind of connection? And it makes sense. It makes sense. There was the Admiral Byrd Operation High Jump when they went to Antarctica. They encountered some shit in the water. A lot of shit in Antarctica. There's the Baltic Sea UFO. There's shit off of Japan. There's a lot of shit out there.
It's crazy.
Yeah. And I have a fear of being in the ocean. Like, I hate being in the water and not knowing what's under me. Like, fuck that shit.
Same, same. Definitely with you on that one. It makes you think. I mean, it's wild because it's a fine line because it's like, okay, they are so advanced that they can just hang out in the ocean,
Yeah, they can do whatever the fuck they want.
but they're not advanced or powerful enough that they could just take over the governments of the world and then just do whatever they want.
Well,
That makes
maybe
sense.
they're just, maybe they're just benign or,
They're just chilling.
yeah, I mean,
Okay. They don't have to necessarily be an advanced species. They're just
you might want to listen to, do you listen to Joe Rogan at all?
a little bit, not enough.
Just the other day, like 2 or 3 days ago, he had, I don't know if you've seen that viral article that was going around. There was the top physicist at Harvard came out with an article about Oumuamua, that asteroid that flew by like a couple years ago. Well, it went viral because he's the top physicist, and he's like, I don't think it was a comet. He's like, I think it was like alien. What he basically says, to sum it up, is he thinks it's alien space junk, maybe a ship that was destroyed at some point, and it's just flying whatever direction it just happened to fly, and it just flew by us, because he comes at it very level headed. I mean, he has to. This is the top physicist at Harvard. He's going based off the data, and he's, Joe Rogan let him come on, and I mean, I don't know. I believe him because he's just throwing out all these hard facts, and I'm just like, fuck, that does make like a lot of sense. He thinks it's like some kind of. Have you heard of the solar cells that they're trying to make? It's like a light sail that the light pushes it.
Okay, sure.
Basically, he thinks it's that because of the way that it's tumbling. It seems like it's really flat, but for 8 hours it gets really shiny. So that means that it's spinning, and it's something that reflects, and then it spins. But the crazy part is, as it's leaving, it speeds up, and comets don't do that. And they tried to play it off as like maybe gas, because that can happen with a comet that's like ice or some shit. Once it gets closer to the sun, it melts, blows off hydrogen or whatever, and that creates like a rocket effect, just like our jet planes and shit.
Right.
The thing is, though, this thing, it wasn't a normal comet. It was considered rocky because it didn't have a comet tail. In order to have that rocket effect, it needs to have a tail, because it's gas is melting, evaporating, whatever. That would boost it, and this thing boosted without having anything.
Right. Just inexplainable. That's wild. I mean, they obviously have crazy technology, things that we don't have here, or that we're not allowed to have here. If they're able to just tumble through space and use light to push themselves, like light sails, like you're saying.
Yeah.
And people like Nikola Tesla,
Mm-hmm.
and all the things that he's come up with. I guarantee that there are so many different ways to go about the things that we do.
Yeah, the government stole all his stuff when he died.
Correct. Yeah, and they actually, Donald Trump's grandfather, John G. Trump.
Yeah. Yep.
Put to research and see if
he took over. He took over some of the stuff and
didn't
find anything. Who's to say? Easy for you, especially back then, to say like, oh, yeah, this is all bullshit, but I'll keep it anyways.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that dude was getting into like time travel territory and
time travel, forever energy. I don't know what the proper terminology for that is.
Clean, renewable energy.
Yeah, well, I mean, just energy that just powers itself.
Yeah.
Repeatedly, like you could just go forever, and it just would always power itself. Just incredible.
Yeah. Ironically, too, he was supposed to be the first person who detected some kind of signal from space, and that's where the infamous Black Knight satellite theory comes from.
Okay. I know he had something to do with radio signal in Colorado Springs. He was out there, in a race to do something with that.
Yeah.
And then he just died mysteriously, or of a blood clot.
Yeah, he was old and poor. So sad.
He was only 86. He was the only person in his family to die under 100 years old.
Oh, wow, really?
Yes, he's the first person in his family to die under 100 years old. So it kind of begs the conspiracy that he was killed off because he had a very strict diet.
Yeah.
Rarely ate meat. He ate a lot of vegetables. He said eat a potato a day. Stay away from acidic foods, like beans and I guess coffee and stuff.
Yeah.
And he walked like 6 to 10 miles a day. So
God damn.
Physical as well.
Yeah. I just seen a colorized photo of him.
Oh, really?
Yeah, one of the last pictures of him. Somebody colorized it. It looked pretty cool.
Is he like a crazy looking guy?
No, he just looks really thin. Just your typical old dude. Just looks old and thin and frail and
guy who just eats vegetables.
Yeah, it looks like what you described. Like he eats a potato a day and maybe some broccoli for dinner or something.
And then just walks.
Yeah, and
then he also said only eat 2 meals a day.
Yeah, and he's probably in his head creating some new technology or some shit. Dude is smart as fuck.
Yeah, I guess he at one point started a huge fire in a building where he was doing experiment. He was experimenting with vibrations and frequencies. I believe so much in vibrations and frequencies and like aligning your chakras, and just keeping on a good vibe because it once again goes with like the ripple of the energy put out. But I guess he was able to make this machine vibrate at the same frequency as what the matter of the building was vibrating at, or he got very close.
Yeah.
To a point where like a bunch of stuff just started exploding because he was just like sending a signal that could match the wavelength and overpower the wavelength to like literally just disintegrate it.
Right. Yeah, I've heard about stuff like that. I've heard about that vibration shit with like the pyramids. That's how they lifted stone with sound vibrating at a certain frequency will lift shit.
Interesting.
Like Coral Castle. You ever looked at Coral Castle?
No, it's Coral Castle.
What? It's in fucking Florida. This dude it's fucking skin and bones, like kind of like Tesla, really. This guy couldn't weigh more than 100 pounds, but he built this fucking castle all by himself,
Oh wow.
lifting like tons and tons and tons of stone.
Uh-huh.
And he said, well, his he never revealed his secret, but he said he had unlocked the secrets of the Egyptians. And supposedly, there's only one photo where he has like this tripod thing, and there's a black box at the top. Everyone says it's that, but nobody knows what that was, or
Black box.
yeah,
Nice.
it's the only picture of him like lifting shit. And
I just looked at a picture now. I've
you see
heard a
it,
little bit
yeah.
about that.
But
Yeah.
he like the doors are massive, like huge stones. But you can people say you can open it with the touch of a finger, like the way it's balanced and everything. That shit's crazy. I've always wanted to go there. As many
The
times I
pyramids, they're so intricately built. I mean,
yeah.
just the way they're positioned, the mathematical configuration and placement of each stone is just incredible.
You been to Egypt? I'm trying to go there someday.
I have not been to Egypt. I've never been out of the country, actually.
I've just been to Mexico. That's about it for
Yeah.
fucking Rocky Point.
Yeah. No, that's one of the top places I would go is to Egypt.
Yeah.
But, I am a man of Christian belief, or, I follow that and just the history of the Bible and being a Freemason, I would just love to go see that because there's so much connection to those pyramids. And, Jesus was there when the pyramids were there. He walked by them.
Yeah.
He's seen the pyramids. It's incredible. I would love to go.
There's a great story to be told there on how they did it exactly, and how the fuck else was everyone else around the world building pyramids as well?
Yeah. So, I mean, the pyramids, can you hear me a little bit better like that, by the
Yeah,
way?
that's good.
Okay, cool. The pyramids, they were built within 40 generations of Adam and Eve. 40 or 60, one of the two. 40 or 60. So, if you think about the God, the creator, whoever brought us here, apparently, um, there's only 40 generations from when that happened, when the pyramids are built. You have to think that there had to have been someone or something helping that happen. Whether it
Yeah.
be the people that were first brought here were just so advanced or whatever, I really think that somebody helped them do it, you know.
Yeah, there's some. Yeah, I agree. Everyone likes to immediately go to aliens, but something went down.
Something happened. You look at, just the different sizes of figures within history and literature, we weren't all just scrawny little guys like me. People were big. People lived for a long time. They could lift bigger things. There were, different forces around.
have
Uh, Go
Have
ahead.
you heard about the fucking water erosion on the Sphinx?
No, what's that?
Oh, you haven't heard about that?
Mm-mm.
I forgot when this came out. I think it's maybe 10 years old now, but there's been some archaeologists now who have strong evidence that the Sphinx is like 12,000 plus years old because it has water erosion on the side. So that would have actually predated the pyramids. It would have been the first thing. It's real fascinating. I've posted about it before, but you can easily just look up water erosion on the Sphinx, and you'll go in a rabbit hole on that one. Because the last time that there was like rainfall and stuff, that because there has to be a certain amount to cause erosion.
Totally.
The last time, uh, yeah, it was over like 12,000 years ago when Egypt was like a jungle or some shit, and that's way before, way before the pyramids and shit were.
Way before. Yeah.
Yeah, so
It's interesting. I mean, yeah. Who knows? Maybe we've done it over and over again. And they were there and then got rebuilt. And who knows, Like, does this Earth just blow up and do it all over and over again,
yeah,
Who it's wild, who maybe there was Egyptians and then an ice age happened and then they just picked up where they left off when
hmm
everything thawed out, and built around where the Sphinx was. If they were able to date it for that far back like that, because what were they able to date the pyramids back to? Like obviously just
I think the pyramids are what 5?
yeah,
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, because they're able to date them, but according to they're able to date the water erosion to, I don't know how the fuck they do it, but there's a lot of evidence for it now. There's a lot of people starting to believe it, but Egypt's very they're not very open to changing what's out there. They won't even let people like dig anymore. It's real hard to get any discoveries going on out there.
yeah, yeah. Things have definitely changed. I mean, I think that's just a lot of how mankind has progressed and
Yeah.
mankind, we're very selfish and deceptive people, and so why would they let us just go dig out there
Yeah.
if they have some of the best secrets to existence?
Yeah,
You know?
I wish everyone, the scientific communities and whatnot, were more open-minded and willing to change the things that they've discovered.
Right. Yeah, I'm so fortunate for my mentality that anything could be true, and
Mm-hmm.
that like I'm willing to just accept anything or think about
Me
anything,
too.
you know. I'm cool with it.
I think about people who just believe one thing, and I'm like, man, that's got to be boring as fuck.
Yeah. Because even as somebody who, walks in Christian
Mm-hmm.
faith to an extent, like I still question parts about that. I'm not,
Mm.
too stubborn to think about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Things like some of the older parts, some of the things that people have issues with in the Bible, like man and woman, and all of the roles and this and that.
Yeah.
Um, I can tell you what, if that is the way it's supposed to be, I better have a damn good explanation when I get where I'm going. If it is that such bad of a sin for a man to love another man or vice versa, there better be a way better explanation than what it says in the Bible,
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not closed-minded to that, because, the Bible does a great job of explaining some things and how we could walk in life to do great things, but it doesn't explain science. It doesn't explain, all of the other things that science and mathematics can explain. And so that's why you have to have an open mind, because every part of the universe contributes to what makes the universe whole.
It's
So you have
grand
to appreciate
design.
all of that. It's the grand design from the supreme architect, whatever that is, you
Yeah.
know. So you have to appreciate everything, and you have to appreciate your enemies, and you have to appreciate people who oppose you, because they offer a counterbalance to keep you level-headed, hopefully, as well. Not many people are like that these days, though. Most people are close-minded and very, I'm just going to look at it from this one way.
Yeah.
They've been designed to do that. We've been
Yeah. Until they
distracted
until
from
they
that.
have no choice but to look at this thing a new way.
Correct. So, that just goes back to, do people live, life over and over again, teaching life lessons? So somebody who's had everything handed them in life, they're not going to go through hard times. They're not going to think about God or think about existence or whatever, the rights and the wrongs and being a good person, peeling back the layers of who you are, and, therapy, as we had talked about in the
Yeah.
beginning. So, maybe it's just everyone's going through their different level at different times in different existences until
Yep.
we get to where we're going.
I think
You
we
know,
just need to do a shitload of DMT and we'll get all the answers.
hey, I'm down. I'm down with it. Maybe we'll get all the answers. Who knows? So it's just beautiful to think about. But, I think that no matter what you believe, it's just about being a good person,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
being good, nice to
I think
people.
that's a good foundation.
Right. Right. Especially, because like if you're a Christian, you can't hate people. You can't be mean to people because they're different. Even if the Bible, says that being different is bad, you're supposed to love them and accept them and, work with them. And you don't have to persuade them to be Christian. Just tell them what you know, and if they want to be a part of it, cool. If not, great. You
Yeah.
know. I don't know. I see a lot of hatred about Christianity, and it's not offensive or upsetting. It's just kind of humorous in a way,
Mhm.
because, I am able to keep an open mind and just look at it from all angles. And so, like, I'm equally as okay as hating on it as I am defending it, you
Right.
know. So, just as long as you're being a nice person to people
Yeah.
and doing good for the community, because whether you're here to serve people for God or you're here to serve people for an eternal existence of just being
Mhm.
matter that bounces from place to place, you have to be putting good energy out there and helping, keep the existence moving forward,
Yeah.
keeping, things progressing forward. If you're just sitting around doing nothing, not being a better person, not working on yourself, not doing a podcast to spread the word, to talk about things and whatever, then what are you doing? What are you contributing to the great universe and its existence?
Yeah.
The only way to stay constant is to change. That's a quote, right? The only thing in life, the only constant in life is change.
Exactly.
And then my addition to that is, so it's the only constant in life is change, because change is the only way to stay constant,
Exactly.
right?
How are you doing with you still making music?
Yeah, so that was a big part of 2020. I was supposed to come out with some music, some life happened.
Cuz I remember
And
we talked about some things you were working on.
yeah, I've been working on a lot of things and I'm getting really close. life happens exactly how it's supposed to. And if I would have released these songs under this project last year, I don't know if I would have been where I want to be.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would have been the same thing, over and over. I was ready to go pre-COVID. Come February, March of last year, I was ready to go. Um, and then a couple of things happened where we just couldn't. COVID happened. I had some issues with my actual Elias name and trademarking, so I had to rebrand and rethink. So I was kind of crushing, but rebuilt me, which is a blessing. And so I've got my piano, I've got my instruments. I do it all, and I'm just trying to find the right sound.
Okay.
I want to be, myself, and I want to deliver a message. I don't want to just make mainstream whatever.
Yeah.
So I could do all sorts of different genres. So I'm just trying to find that sweet spot. And I would say by like July or August, I'll have an EP out. At least 3 to 5 songs with videos. See, I'm all about like making it an experience, like not just releasing music like, bro, check my SoundCloud link.
Yeah.
I want a video. I want there to be like a story behind it.
I was just gonna say that I love when there's video because it has a little story to go along with your song.
Absolutely. So I was inspired from a young age. I've always been a musician, but I was in theater and whatnot, in plays and musicals. And I remember going to Vegas when I was 8. I made my grandma take me just to walk up and down the strip. I was like 8 or 9, and I was just loved Cirque du Soleil and all the entertainment, on the arts, the performing arts. And I've always planned on incorporating that into my music, that, I'm not just behind 2 DJ decks. I've got, props, and I've got choreography, and I'm putting on a show, an experience, something that another reason why I've delayed is you can't do that during COVID,
Right.
you have to be there, experience, and it'll be a part of the journey. So there's a lot to come with that. It's really exciting.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's gonna be fucking exciting.
Yeah, and my daughter, she's 11 months old, and I think she's gonna be a musician. So she loves to sing up on this mic. I'll go da 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 da, and she'll go ah. And she has a piano that she slaps on. It's got a microphone. She sings.
Yeah.
So that's really, really cool.
That's adorable. Make sure she's in the video doing that. Man.
She'll be in a few. Definitely be in a few. So that's going good. I've just been, focusing on working, and then being a family man, and doing music, being safe. So
that's all you can do, man. Do whatever's making you happy.
You got to. It's a part of self-care, and making sure that you're your best self. Just doing those things that keep you where you need to be. You've got to do those little things that keep you whole, keep you happy. Even if it's going to the hot tub every other night, or eating chicken wings once a week, because damn, you love chicken wings.
I can go for both of those right about now.
Yeah, I think I will be going for both of those here in a minute. But yeah, just living, just trying to figure it out. Life is so weird with COVID and with other things, There's a part of me we laughed about at the beginning. I said, is it the end of the world? Who knows? Maybe it could be. And so I think about that kind of stuff too.
Yeah.
So I'm just letting life play itself out, just enjoying every moment. COVID really allowed me to enjoy the moment and not really think about the future, but just think about the here and now, and just, live for the moment.
Yeah, same. I'm thankful for, as hard as it's been, I'm just thankful for what lessons I've learned and where it's put me in the path that I'm on, and, just going with the flow, rolling with the punches from here on out.
Yeah. What's it been like for you? Like, have you been trying to date throughout this, or like talk to people?
Yeah. I got out of a situationship. Something like that. A little complicated. A couple months ago. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm a little picky these days.
That's okay.
Only because I come from long relationships, and I'm 32 now. I don't like having my time wasted, so I'm very particular with who I'm giving my time to, on top of therapy making me enforce these boundaries and getting the respect that I feel I deserve. And so I wouldn't say like I'm actively trying to date. I'm not shut off from it. I'm just here.
Yeah.
If somebody comes along, cool. If not, I'm just going to keep doing this and just doing whatever. And when something like that comes along, I'll give it the energy it deserves. but I'm not gonna like really seek it out. And, you know.
Yeah, it's, going through those things is difficult, but it shows you what you need and who you are and what you want,
Hmm.
and it's all about that journey, getting through those layers to get where you need to go. If it's meant
Yeah.
to happen, it'll happen. Have you ever heard of the theory of like twin flames? You know what
Nope.
a twin flame?
The fuck
Okay,
is
so
that?
here we go. Twin flames is the concept that one soul split in half.
Oh shit.
Um, yeah, one soul splits in half, and you could be trying to find your twin flame, and there
So
might
like
be like,
soulmates type of thing.
yeah, exactly. It's a
Huh.
fancy word for soulmates in a way.
What if
Where,
mines didn't split and I'm just forever alone?
I mean, it could be your
Is
buddy
that
Joe,
possible?
your friend Jill. No, it could be possible. I don't think so.
Do
I don't
all
know.
do I need to know? Do all flames split? Or
Do
there's
all souls split? Who knows? I don't know the answer to that question.
hmm.
Maybe it comes and goes. Maybe it happens, in one universe, your whole
I need
soul.
Robert Bigelow to stop with his bullshit afterlife, and we need to get the study going on
He needs
twin.
to up the ante. 1 million's not
No, I
enough.
want him to stop afterlife, and I want him to get to the bottom of twin flames. So we need to finance an operation on if they split or not, because I need answers.
Yeah, seriously. Seriously. I mean, there are times I really believe my wife is my twin flame
I,
because
yeah. No, I was gonna say I've always heard that you have different soulmates at different times too, like depending on where you're at in life. Because I mean, I've met some amazing girls in my life, and some I'm still very good friends with till this day. Then I'm different. Like I'm capable of being friends with like exes and stuff. Maybe the romantic aspect doesn't work out, but I'm still capable of having that deep love and affection as a friend. And I've definitely think I've met at least two. I don't know, I guess you would call them friend soulmates. I don't know. They're just soulmates of some type. I know.
yeah,
You know.
yeah, it was a soulmate or a twin flame doesn't necessarily have to be like a sexual thing, like a
Exactly.
physical bond. It could just be friendship. Yeah, because what if, different souls come from different places, and so you could connect with that person more because they're in the realm of your soul or
Hmm.
whatever, came from the same place. There are times where, like, my wife and I finish each other's thoughts or sentences, or like we'll say something, the exact same thing at the exact same time in the same intonation.
Yeah.
Like, it is just spot on, and it just makes you like, wait, what? You know, I was in a really long relationship before I met my wife, a high school sweethearts. We
Hmm.
were together like for 5 years in total. She cheated on me, left, took her back, cheated on me, left, so on and so forth. I was living in Vegas,
Hmm.
working in Vegas, managing accounts, and I was with her, and she was just doing the same old, just doing a whole lot of nothing in life, just
Right.
hanging out, not working, whatever. And I wanted to move back to Phoenix to pursue my music and try and like chase my career with my music. So I said, I don't know what it is that's calling me to go back to Phoenix, but I feel like my life won't progress to the next step. And like my life won't progress to where I needed to go unless I move back to Phoenix.
Right.
You could come or go. And she said, fuck you, I'm staying here.
Psh,
So
now look
then,
at you.
and yeah, I moved back here, had every intention of just working on music, doing whatever.
Hmm.
And I met my wife like maybe 6 weeks into being here. Same
Yeah.
thing, was just chilling, had no intention, was doing my own thing, and then boom.
Yeah.
But, I remember so many times like feeling that gut instinct of, man, I'm supposed to break up with this girl
Hmm.
over and over throughout the years. And, I'm supposed to break up with this girl. Like I just felt it. Like my gut kept telling me and I
Hmm.
ignored it. And the universe gave me so many times to be cheated on, my heart broke and took her back. I was so stubborn. And it wasn't until I finally learned that lesson that the next part of my life was able to move on. So I think that perfectly ties back into the theory of, everyone's in their different level doing their own thing. And it's not
Yeah.
until you become consciously aware of what you need to fix to where you could go to the next point. Some people need to, give up drinking, stop being abusive, stop doing whatever to, get themselves out of that rut and into the next phase.
Yeah. I I don't know. Hopefully, I'll meet somebody.
I think you will. I
uh,
know you will. I know you will.
yeah, I definitely will. It's just
We
I I mean, I come from a similar situation as yours. I didn't move, but I remember being so attached to my ex, like like, super depressed when we were broken up. But I mean, I remember eventually meeting one girl who just completely changed everything and opened my eyes up, as to there's so much better things out there. And I guess in my way that was my moving to another city or something,
Right.
compared to you.
Right.
And
We have a friend who just found she thinks is the one,
mhm,
and we had called 2 guys before that the one, and it
mhm,
was like within a 6 or 7 month frame.
mhm.
She met this guy. We was like really hopeful. Didn't work out at all. Met another guy that was more hopeful, but fell apart real quick. And then finally this one, we're like, holy crap, this is definitely it,
Yeah.
which is really cool.
Yeah,
And
you
I know
never know
that'll
when it's going to
for you.
happen. It's just,
Don't.
I don't know, some kind of plan, I guess.
We just finished watching last night How I Met Your Mother. Have you ever seen that show?
No.
Okay. So it was a series that ran for however many years, kind of like Friends or whatever.
Mhm.
Just these friends in New York. I've seen it before. My wife had never seen them, so we started watching it a couple months back. But it's this guy, and it's 9 seasons of him just going through his love story
God damn.
till he meets his wife. It's 9 seasons of him just going through different girlfriends, crazy things, until at the very end of the 9th season he meets his wife.
Yeah.
And then get this shit. He meets her, they get married, they have 2 kids. I think like maybe 5 years go by, and then she dies of terminal illness.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, like the shittiest ending to a series ever. It's like 9 seasons of learning How I Met Your Mother. The mother gets introduced halfway through the last season, and then they kill her off in the last episode.
That's terrible.
It's like 100 plus episodes, and she's in like 5 of them.
Did you meet your wife in our scene, I guess you want to call it?
No, I met her on Tinder.
Oh, wow, really?
I
My
met her on
therapist
Tinder.
keeps like hinting at dating like apps or whatever, and I'm just like, nah, bro.
I met her on
I'm just
Tinder.
a fan of like organic, like like I want to
Yeah.
just be out somewhere, like, hey, get to know this person a little bit, and
Mhm.
but the dating pool isn't that great out here.
It's not, and there are way more variables by going organic like that. When you're on Tinder, you're literally filtering your likes and dislikes by,
Mhm.
putting a biography, putting who you are, certain pictures, and
Mhm.
then the swiping. There are so many different, mathematical variables that narrow down who you could be seeing. And it could be based on your location, based on your preferences on age, whatever. So it kind of helps filter that down. And then all the way down to each description is an even further insight into what this person could be. It's a lot quicker than walking up to the bar. Hey, how you doing? My name's
Yeah.
David. You're cute. Want to get drinks next Thursday?
Mhm.
Next Thursday, or you got a flat tire? Well, fuck now. It just takes long. But so I met her on Tinder, and it was one of the only times I ever used Tinder.
Oh, wow, look at that.
I wasn't paying attention to it. I swiped right on everything just because I didn't care. I was like literally like walking around, hanging out with my buddies all day every day. Just didn't give a shit. Just swiping right, just because it gave me something to do. I had just came out of a very rough breakup from a long relationship. I had moved back to Arizona. I was working. I was very high up in the company I was working for, so I just needed something to do where I could get matches and feel validated.
Right.
Because I was cheated on. I was
Right.
cheated on by a guy who ended up being gay later on, and
Holy shit.
a brony. You know what a brony
Oh, yeah,
is?
wow, that's interesting.
Yeah. I got left for a brony.
I would love to talk to a brony on here, just pick their brain. That's crazy.
Ow. That'll get you. Got left for a brony. So I just needed validation, honestly.
Honestly, I think that makes you look better, because look how she got played in the worst
She got played real
possible
bad. He took-
possible way. I mean, that hurts her, not you, the way I see
He
it.
took money from her. He ended up leaving for another guy that he had met online, like on some, like brony chat site. I'm not even
Mhm.
making this shit up. It's like he seriously like left her for some other guy in a different state who was a brony fan.
Damn, a brony story.
Brony story. So where's it
We
going
need to
with
make
that?
this comedy movie. Start writing the script now.
We can do it. No, so like I just needed that validation, and so
Yeah.
I was swiping right, and she was one of the only people I ever messaged,
Mhm.
of maybe like 5 people, and maybe like 3 people ever replied. She was one of them. She said she could eat a whole pizza in one sitting, and I just didn't
Wow.
believe it. So I had to verify for myself,
And she did it,
and
yeah.
she can do it. PPJ, pineapple, pepperoni, jalapeno.
Yeah.
It's a damn
My
good
roommate was telling me I should speed date.
speed date. What's the like events and adventures? You ever heard of those?
Oh, I've heard of that. I
Have
think
you ever
they're on
been
their
in one?
no, but I've heard they sound cool. I mean, they sound. I'd honestly want to do that even if like I was in a relationship. Like I just want to go do some shit, you know?
I've thought about that too. Like, can I just go hang out?
Can I just go and do some of your
They do,
events?
like,
They do cool shit.
hot air balloons, the
Fucking
aquarium.
kayaking and yeah, they do some cool shit. I'm like, damn, let me just go hang out.
Yeah, events. You should seriously try it. I recommend it because it could work. It could happen.
Yeah, I get a little self conscious about it though, because it's like weird, like putting yourself out there for myself, like you know, like
Are we talking about like online?
any kind of dating thing like that where it's not organic is just makes me feel desperate or something, you know? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm
Yeah.
going way out of my way to seek something. That's what I don't
In
like
my
about it.
personal opinion, I see it completely opposite. I
Mhm.
see you doing.
I see the
what you do
benefits of it. I mean,
as going the long way. Tinder
Mhm.
would be the easier way that more people are doing.
mhm.
You would it wouldn't be something to be ashamed of. It's like the social norm at this point, especially during a time of COVID where you can't go out. You know, I think like a lot of the online sites have seen a big increase in subscription because you have to do everything online right now.
Yeah,
There's
what's
not-
what's a good COVID date these days? I mean, we're pretty open here. You can still go to dinner and shit like that.
Yeah,
You can still do simple shit like that.
you could. I don't know because I don't really know what's open. You know, I mean, here's a good COVID date. You want COVID date? I hope we have viewers that need good COVID dates because
We'll see.
North
I was thinking
Phoenix-
about. I was actually thinking about making a post about this dating
Okay.
during COVID.
In North Phoenix, every morning and night they have the hot air balloons. They go up like 30 to 40 minutes before the sun.
Oh, do they?
set.
That's a good
Yes.
one.
There's usually like 10 of them, 10 to 15 balloons. There's a few parks around the area. One of them is my favorite. I'm not going to name it because it's a nice park. But take somebody there. Be out in the open so you're not, exposed. Take them out in the open and just have a picnic watching the hot air balloons.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go to.
Yeah, I don't. Now that I think about it, I don't think finding it like going on a date would be the problem. It's just finding somebody who walks the walk and talks the talk for me.
And that's the thing is, it sounds like not many people do that these
They
days.
don't, dude. They don't.
I'm so lucky that I can't relate to that because
Yeah, I was
For
I was
one-
gonna say that.
for one, like I didn't have to go through that necessarily, but I'm not that kind of person. So it blows my mind that there is just like an abundance of people that selfish and into themselves and will blow
Yeah.
you off and aren't
Yep.
reliable. That just
And then go and cry that they're single and
right. It's just like a forever cycle. Like it just blows my mind. I can't relate to that, thankfully.
Yeah.
I'm very
coming out of my marriage is what it was to this modern dating scene. I've just been blown away by how the process is of getting to know somebody and dating, and it's just I'm like, what is going on out here?
I scared off a few people, scared off somebody in Vegas because I was always honest with what my intentions were.
Mhm.
My intentions were to be really good to you and be a family man and be loyal and faithful and give you time and attention and love you and just like be real with you because that's who I am as a person. No matter if
Right.
it's a boyfriend, girlfriend, mom, dad, or a stranger, an enemy, I'm always just gonna be my best I can. And so like I guess hopefully I attracted that energy. Obviously it worked out because in the long
Right.
run that's who I found. I put that energy out there and it came back. And I know you put that energy out there too. So that's why you just have to have the faith that that energy will reciprocate.
Yep, I'm trying.
At some point.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just wild that people are like that. It's sad. It's the world that we live in.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
what
I'm too
changes-
much of a lover and a hopeless romantic to lose hope, I guess you could say. I definitely have my times where I'm down and when things don't work out, but I end up picking it up and moving along.
Yeah, it'll happen when it's supposed to happen. That's the way love is.
Yep.
Love is very strange. But even when you find love, it's not over. You know that. How long were you married for? How many years?
Well, we were only married 2 years, but we were together just about 7 years.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That's a long time.
Cheated too for me. So
Oh, really?
yeah,
She cheated on you.
yeah.
That's I have full faith in my wife, obviously, but it's still something you think about. Like it's crazy how people can just switch overnight.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is I didn't think about it until it happened. Like before it was never a thought in my head that I would be cheated on. And now it's almost like I've been robbed of my trust because now I do have to think about that going forward. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
It's like
Yeah,
something
I
was
can
stolen from me in a way.
I can relate to that. I mean, when I got cheated on from this individual multiple times, it wasn't just like a little bit, like it was malicious. The
Yeah.
first time was when our 1 year anniversary of dating here in Arizona. We went to high school in Colorado, but moved out here for college and
Mhm.
got back together in college. On our 1 year anniversary, she didn't show up to breakfast that day. It was on July 5th,
Hmm.
I believe. And so the night before, she refused to hang out with me because she was hanging out with friends. I'm like, this is July 4th, the day before our anniversary, whatever. She's
Yeah.
like, but we're gonna have a great day tomorrow. That day came and she didn't show up. And so like I had to like try and find her because her phone was off. I knew she was partying, so I didn't know if anything bad happened to her. She just completely blew me off.
Right.
And turns out she was sleeping with somebody else, and she told me, yeah, I sleep with somebody else, and I fucking loved it. I'm like, wow.
Damn.
That was really hard just to be told that.
Jeez.
And then the second time I had moved to Vegas, she was still living here in Phoenix, and she pocket dialed me in the middle of doing the dirty.
Yeah.
So that was really rough.
See, she deserved this brony story.
And then the third time was with the brony.
Well, I think she got what she deserved with that. That's
Definitely.
That's
But
heavy.
that ties into just like being robbed of that trust.
Yeah.
Kind of it's like dignity in a way. I don't know if that's the
Mhm.
right word.
Yeah, yeah.
Being robbed of that, and it becomes the point where you can't look for your partner to give it to you anymore. I mean, you hope that they will, and they will if they're the right one, but you have to find it within yourself. And
Yep.
just be so comfortable with yourself that no matter what is thrown at you, it's not going to rock your core this time,
Yeah.
and that you can just roll with the punch.
Yeah, now I'm because I've met so many different people, and I've met people who other like friends who have same story where they're the cheater, but I see that they've changed. So now I'm just like of the mentality where like if somebody's gonna cheat, they're gonna cheat. This isn't something just exclusive to me. I don't have to worry about every girl that I meet.
Sometimes there's just nothing you can do to stop it. I know
Right.
that sounds bad. That's not very helpful, but
No, you're right
yeah.
though.
Yeah, you can't just think that everyone's gonna cheat. You just hope that they won't, and if they do, you'll take it. But when you find the right one, like hopefully that just won't even be a different issue. But
Right,
then again, it wasn't
exactly.
an issue for you until the very end. So
Right.
who knows?
Yeah.
That's why you have to be like hopelessly faithful that it'll all play out in the long run. And if after 7 years it doesn't work out, that it was a beautiful thing because it was one step closer to what was supposed to work out.
Right.
I guess. It's a very
Lessons.
interesting
Turn these
perspective.
L's into lessons.
Exactly. I think that's the universal, like the eternal existence that you and I can relate to and agree upon, and that's what keeps us going, is that like anything could happen now, before, forever moving forward. And so that's why it's just so beautiful to get up every day and appreciate the world and the little things and the big things all at once, and just be in it, in the moment,
Yep.
just be in the moment. So,
I agree.
it's a beautiful thing. All right, brother.
All
What
right.
else
Well,
we wanna
let's.
talk about?
No, we can end it right there. We're an hour and a half deep. I'll let you get on with your day.
We
We're
made it an hour and a half.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's no time limit here, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love it. I appreciate you having me on. It's a lot of fun.
For sure. For sure.
We'll
We'll
have to
we'll
it
do this again. Yeah. We can shoot the shit. I mean, obviously you love talking. So do I. So, we can make this a regular thing.
Yeah, I'm down with that. That's what I do. But yeah, when you first said who wants to be on my show, I'm like, I talked for 14 hours straight in that car ride, and I could
Yeah.
hear it in your voice. Not that it was a bad thing, but I know that there was a point where you're like, is this guy gonna shut the fuck
Nah,
up?
nah, man.
It was.
I like
we
to
were,
listen.
Cruising back into Phoenix, the sun,
Oh, I
just
probably was
an
just
hour.
tired for that. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, don't play. It was so funny. But we'll do it again.
For sure.
And just stay strong. I tell everybody, stay happy, stay healthy.
You as well, man. Much love to you.
Peace and love.
All right. Later, brother.
Bye.
Later.
Bye.